Football Primetime presented by Ram Trucks, all a part of the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. BYU off to an undefeated 4-0 start in the top 25. Eyes on a conference championship, maybe a college football playoff berth. And Paul Carcaterra, they're doing it with a true freshman QB.
Indeed, Anish, and BYU loves to play physical football, so it's only fitting that their quarterback is wearing a linebacker number. Bear Bachmeier is tough as nails, and his game continues to grow before our very eyes. Bear didn't arrive on campus until after spring ball. He was the first ever true freshman to start an opener for BYU, and he's able to beat out more experienced quarterbacks while devouring the playbook in just 2 months. He has the best TD to turnover ratio in the Big 12, and he gets the ball out in 2.35 seconds per attempt. That's tops in the league as well. And last week, he proved he could win on the road and orchestrated 375-plus touchdown drives against Colorado. The quarterback position heading into the summer was a major question mark. Now it's becoming an answer.
Cark, I asked him this week if he knew who Jim Kelly was, and he said he did. That he would actually look up YouTube and find Jim Kelly because they play a lot alike, that linebacker type background.
Kalani Sitake told us that win against Colorado last week showed his team's maturity, especially that of his quarterback, who did not panic when they were down 14-0. BYU won the toss, selected to defer, and West Virginia will begin on offense from its own 25-yard line. It's Mountaineers team, as we get some rain starting to fall down here in Provo. It's a Mountaineers team that's just been ravaged by injuries on offense in Rich Rod's first year back. And their top running back out for the season, their top wide receiver out for the season. Nico Marchiol, who began the season as their #1 quarterback, well, earlier this week it was reported that he's seeking a medical red shirt. On 3 reported he will likely transfer after the season is over. His backup, Jalen Henderson, hurt. So enter Khalil Wilkins making his first career start. First down, Wilkins with the zone read keeper. And he is cut down after a pickup of about 3 by the safety Raider DeMuna.
And this is what we were told about Khalil Wilkins. He is a big-time runner, trying to get him settled into this game. And what better way to do it than to give him a carry here early.
Quarterback draw. Wilkins looking for room. Logan Latui clips him at the 31. This is a big play for West Virginia because their offense thrives off tempo. They have not been getting these first downs. That first down triggers tempo.
Are you kind of surprised, though, that they're going tempo with a guy making his first start or the first start of his college career?
He's going to throw, now elects to run, and he is gobbled up by the BYU defense a couple of yards shy of the marker, 4th down.
Well, he's got a tough time if he's going to run all night against Jay Hill's defense with Jack Kelly, who we talked about early on, as well as Isaiah Glasker, 2 linebackers that can track down any quarterback. You see Kelly and then Glasker coming in to finish things up, and that's a tough ask of a redshirt freshman making his first start.
Oliver Straw, who is second in the nation with 28 punts to kick it away. And this is Tiger Bachmeier, brother of the quarterback. Let's see where they mark him. Going to be inside the 15 at the 13. 47-yard kick. And Tiger will let Bear do the work now on offense. Bear Bachmeier got here after spring ball. Remember, Jake Retzloff was the quarterback for BYU last year. He was dismissed from the program. He's now in Tulane having a pretty good season. And there was a quarterback competition, and Kalani Sitake told us it's not fair to the rest of the guys if I give it to somebody more experienced and not the guy who deserved the job. And the guy who won the job was number 47, Bear Bachmeier.
And the rest of the team, they know exactly who the quarterback was going to be based on performance.
Bachmeier takes a shot downfield for Chase Roberts, adjusting, and he hangs on. They haven't really opened up the pass playbook a whole lot, but they do on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, everybody in this building thought L.J. Martin would get the first touch of the game, but no, it's their go-to do-it-all wide receiver in Chase Roberts. Usually they get to him on around third down. Not tonight. They open it up trying to get him incorporated into this game quickly and in a very big way.
It's the longest pass of the season for Bachmeier, 48 yards, fly sweep. That's Cody Hagan, and a pickup of 7 to set up a 2nd down and 3. So BYU, offensively, they like to control the ball. They own time of possession. Very good running football team. And Bachmeier, a physical runner, but they keep telling us we're adding more to his menu.
Yeah.
He has a lot of freedom for a true freshman quarterback at the line.
He does. I mean, he can check plays at the line of scrimmage. Not trying to give him too much, but boy, is he a smart player for his age.
And he's got that guy, L.J. Martin, who opened the season with 3 100-yard games in a row, and L.J. able to pick up a 1st down.
Kind of built like a linebacker, too, isn't he? Big bear, Bachmeier.
6'2", 220.
As a true freshman. Spent the spring at Stanford before their head coach was let go, and then all of a sudden he decided to transfer. BYU was the home. They answered the phone. And here he is making his 5th start of the year.
Out of a 2 tight end set, Bachmeier saw running room, hesitated, and cost him an extra yard or so. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
Just so smart that, he just has the confidence of not only the coaching staff, but this entire football team, not just the offense, but the entire defense as well. They have his back, and he's got a very calm demeanor when he plays the game. Doesn't get too high when he throws touchdown passes, and he has yet to throw an interception, so we don't know how he'll react.
Flag down.
False start. Offense number 2, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Chase Roberts, perhaps a little over-anxious.
Isn't it? Ready to go get another one. Eat again here early. Man, is he special. And usually, I mentioned it earlier, usually a 3rd down specialist, that's where you look. Where's number 2 lined up on 3rd downs for BYU?
Empty set here on 2nd and long. Parker Kingston in motion. Screen pass to Kingston. Not much of a tunnel. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10. Now, this is big for West Virginia. Last week, in a blowout loss to Utah, the Utes were 8 for 8 on 3rd down in the first half. Utah did not punt once in the game. In fact, they scored on 8 of its 9 drives.
Yeah, and they're at 34% defensively on 3rd downs, which is respectable, but it's just giving them up at the wrong times. That's been the Achilles heel for West Virginia so far this year.
Martin picks up the blitz. Bachmeier in trouble, escaping, throws it away in the direction of his tight end, Ryan. In coverage, Fred Perry, the nickel back, and that's a big early stop for West Virginia.
Yeah, huge stop. You're going to see they're getting pass rush as well as coverage on the back end, which is pretty good. And forced the throw away. We're going to get to see one of the best kickers in the country right away in Will Ferrin.
Ferrin last week had a streak of 25 straight field goal makes snapped. The miss, though, was from 55. This from 48. And Ferrin misses another one. So the usually reliable Ferrin fails to come through, and West Virginia comes up with a stop. Rich Rodriguez, one of the great innovators in college football. You can't tell the story of college football and its offense without Rich Rod. He invented the zone read option at Glenville Stadium. Woody Dantzler at Clemson, and then, of course, Pat White at West Virginia. Andre.
Yeah, there's Sean King in there. He coached him at Tulane to an undefeated season there. So he's coached some Some really, really good players at that position.
Wilkins' pass is batted down. Latui getting in there along with Keanu Tanuvasa. And it's fitting we're at Lavelle Edwards Stadium because Lavelle Edwards himself was such an innovator, bringing the pass-heavy offense to college football in an era where everybody ran the ball.
Yeah, Rich Rod was throwing it around as well till he accidentally discovered the zone read.
Wilkins fires a strike that's juggled and brought in by Rodney Gallagher, their slot receiver. Gain of 14, first completion of the game for Wilkins, and a first down for West Virginia. And this is what Rich Rod talked about as being the key to the game. Go quickly, don't allow a more physical BYU team to get settled. This could be coming back. Darian Alexander, stiff arm, and pulled down. We get a flag, might be a horse collar. Either way, it's going to be first and goal, BYU.
This went a little too fast, and Alexander had a different mindset. Baiting a youngster, making his first start, giving some cushion, making it look like the hitch was going to be there, and then drove on it. And boy, did he do a nice job with his eyes, looking back at the quarterback, Wilkins, and Wilkins with a touchdown-saving tackle, but that one's going to be half the distance with that horse collar. You see the right hand get right in the back of that shoulder
return,
pad.
personal foul, horse collar tackle on the passing team, half distance to the goal, first down.
Alexander also looked like he got a pretty good amount of face mask.
Yeah, it could have gone both ways, but that horse collar was obvious. And this is where we may see L.J. Martin, who has a big tight end in need, playing in front of him, playing fullback.
West Virginia QBs on the season, and they have used 5 different ones. 3 touchdown passes, 5 picks on the season. Little misdirection. It's Parker Kingston in for a score. BYU capitalizes 1 play after the interception.
I'll tell you what, Aaron Roderick, their offensive coordinator, everybody in here was thinking they're just going to pound it. And he's done everything but. Martin's still waiting on his first carry of the game. They've thrown it a little bit. They've run end arounds with Hagan, as well as now Parker Kingston. And still yet to touch it is L.J. Martin.
BYU has now scored in 28 straight quarters, extending a program record.
Darian Alexander III with an interception, setting up BYU for some early points. They're up 7-0.
Gardner, Andre Ware wore number 11. That's 4 plus 7.
Yeah, I chose that number because of my mother's birthday, February 11th.
Would you have worn like 36?
No, I wore 32 playing when I was a youth playing football and played running back, and couldn't get out of it fast enough when they moved me to quarterback.
Meanwhile, rain lashing down from
This losing streak snapped against Alabama as well.
By the way, Pavia and Ty Simpson of Alabama, top 2 rated passers in the SEC. Dior Hubbard sheds a tackle in the backfield and picks up about 4. He got the start last week with both Ty Edwards and Sincere Bowers out. Edwards, we were told, would be a game-time decision. Bowers, out of concussion protocol, cleared to play.
Hubbard had a decent game last week, 10 carries, 61 yards, and he also added a touchdown run. He was so good in that first career start that, and he didn't disappoint, that they said, hey, you're going to start again next week.
A couple of carries on this drive. West Virginia in its 2 road games, 5 for 29 on 3rd down. Wilkins, design quarterback run, and it looks like he just got there.
Man, this is a fast defense, a more aggressive defense with Jay Hill as its coordinator. Started that aggression last year. Kind of BYU, their theory was, let's kick it out of the end zone, put them on the 20-yard line, see if they can go 80 on us while we play zone defense. See if they can play mistake-free football. That's not the attitude anymore with Jay Hill as the DC.
Wilkins moves the pocket. That first read's not there. His inclination is to take off and run. You got to be careful against this physical BYU defense. There's Isaiah Glasker.
Yeah, he is always around the football. If he's not at number 16, number 17, Jack Kelly is somewhere around as well.
They hand it off, and it sets up a third down and about a yard. Andre, you got a young quarterback, redshirt freshman, first career start.
Right.
Throws a pick. What are you saying to him on the sideline?
Hey, shake it off. If those things happen, you're not going to go the whole year without throwing one. Just don't put us in harm's way again where it's an easy score for the opposition.
You know, Andre, he's picking up yards with his feet, but he's taken some hits already. West Virginia, again, with all the injuries they've had on offense,
especially at quarterback, at that position. But they feel pretty confident that he's built to last. 6'3", about 200 pounds.
What you heard a lot of this week, he is the prototypical Rich Rod quarterback. He's carried it 6 times already. Hands it off that time, not much for Hubbard. Hubbard, another redshirt freshman.
Yeah, Bodie Schoonover was in on that stop. Got great penetration to kind of stop Hubbard in his tracks. And here we are again at 2nd and 9. This is where BYU will get aggressive. That pressure that I talked about, almost guaranteed to happen here.
Give that one high look, quick throw near sideline. Justin Smith-Brown, who was one of the top receivers in the MEAC for South Carolina State last year, and it's now 3rd down.
You see the tempo there. Average this season 27.6, and then the drive time a minute 54. They go at warp speed, trying to wear you down defensively.
BYU rushes 3. They've got a spy. And Wilkins shedding tacklers. He's close, and this might be one where Rich Rod decides to go for it. Jack Kelly able to trip him up.
NFL scouts love Kelly. Really close with Glasker. Both those guys talk a lot. Both are excellent pass rushers as well. There'll be times you'll see them both line up on the edges of the defense, and they're coming. Glasker looking for a spot right now to bring some pressure.
They've got Ty Edwards in there. He didn't play the last couple of weeks. Edwards gets the call. He is their bulldozer. And based on the spot, it looks like BYU got the stop. BYU football. So Edwards, who had been out with a hip pointer, 6'2", almost 230, unable to get there.
It's Ezra, the other linebacker, that steps in and makes a play for BYU.
Schroff, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra, 28 straight quarters with a score. That's, according to the math of statistician Paul Newman, 7 consecutive games. And by the way, Paul Newman, who had not been feeling well the last 2 weeks, we're happy to have him back. Bachmeier keeps it on 1st down, looking for the edge, and driven down by Perry, the nickelback, and leading tackler for West Virginia. Top 3 tacklers for the Mountaineers, Andre, all defensive backs. That usually tells a story.
Yeah, that means that you're getting to the 3rd level offensively. But BYU's average 9.9 yards on 1st down. That big pass play over the top to Chase Roberts held West Virginia just 3.3. So you see the struggles that they're having. They've also gone 5 straight games where they haven't scored. Talking about West Virginia in the 1st quarter.
Screen pass. This is Hagan. And not much running room, pushed out by Michael Coates. West Virginia's top corner, number 3, Michael Coates, never played a down of high school football. He was working at an arcade after high school.
It's crazy.
Stumbled on a Facebook ad for a football tryout at East Central Community College. He had been working out, said why not? Ends up starting his first game in junior college. Brief stop at Louisiana Tech, was an all-conference player at Nevada, and now starting at West Virginia.
And the best cover man, best corner.
Middle screen, Kingston, open sesame! Parker Kingston with his second touchdown of the game.
What a play call by A-Rod. Aaron Roderick, their offensive coordinator, and the blocking was just sensational. How about Parker Kingston as well, reading the blocks by his offensive line, nobody downfield, and he just hit that thing on the fly. No one, not even Fred Perry on the back end, was going to catch Parker Kingston.
Kingston, who's a high school quarterback and will throw passes.
Yeah.
He's thrown 3 this season, 8
And a baseball
in his
player
career.
in high school.
Think about this now, Andre. He has run for a touchdown. He's caught a touchdown. The passing touchdown, when it comes to Parker Kingston, not off the table.
Yeah, they invite everybody upfield, and then Bruce Mitchell, the center, got the best block of the offensive line. That was the block that freed up Parker Kingston right in the middle of the field, and then it became a foot race between Kingston and Perry, and Kingston wins that baby.
For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. So BYU last week in Boulder down 14-0, now up 14-0, and for West Virginia, again, we mentioned the injuries. It's real. It's tough sledding in season 1 for Rich Rodriguez. They're coming off back-to-back blowouts against Kansas and then against Utah. And early on, not trending the right way against BYU.
He started the season with a bang against Robert Morris. Put up 45 points in that one, but it's been tough sledding ever since.
Lost to Ohio, then bounced back with a rivalry game win against Pitt in the backyard brawl. Last 2 weeks have been a tough go. And they'll have it at their own 25-yard line.
One thing's for sure, he can put a game plan together. So don't expect West Virginia to be down long in this one. They will put up a fight. He will dial up some plays and hopefully get West Virginia back in this thing.
Rich Rod came back to West Virginia from Jacksonville State, where he had 3 straight 9-win seasons. Brought a number of players with him to Morgantown. Wilkins keeps, again, takes another hit, but picks up 11 and a first down. 8 carries already for Khalil Wilkins.
Boy, he is going to be sore. Really sore when this one's over. Probably more so than any time in his career. He has run the ball quite often in this one.
You ran wing T in high school.
Yeah, but I didn't run this much. I was usually handing it off or pitching it to someone.
Fake screen. Wilkins again. You know, part of it, Andre, it almost feels is by necessity.
And he looks like he's getting up slow. He took a shot from Isaiah Glasker, and they're going to force, looks like they were going to force Wilkins off the field for an evaluation.
Officials timeout for an injury to an offensive player.
Yeah, that's Wilkins, because he just didn't look right, didn't hop up right away, and they're indeed going to escort him off the field. Glasker's going to show up, and actually it's the safety, DeMooney, who finishes things off.
So Scotty Fox, a true freshman, will come on. Fox has appeared in 3 games this season.
They like him. They said he's a passer. He can run as well. Saw him warming up, and he can spin it a little bit.
Of West Virginia's 18 plays, 9 have been quarterback runs. Not that time. They give it to Hubbard, who's going to be awfully close. It's a enough for a first down. It just makes you wonder, given the depleted state of this offense, given some of the woes they have had on the offensive line. Was quarterback run with Wilkins basically the game plan for Rich Rodriguez? This is what we feel gives us the best chance.
A major part of the game plan for sure.
Here's the option, and Fox hammered in the backfield for a loss. TFL.
Schoonover with a nice job of kind of not giving up leverage there as a defensive end to allow Fox outside, forced him back inside. And then, you know, they play tremendous team defense here at BYU. Don't care who gets the credit. It's just guys doing their job and making plays.
Fox, option keeper. He's got wheels. And finally tracked down from behind by Falatau Sotuala.
And DeMooney slips down in the secondary. That gave him some additional yards. Went right by him as he slipped down. And then all of a sudden, Sotuala is on the back end of that one to make a nice play to save a touchdown.
Khalil Wilkins back in there. That run by Fox, good for 23 yards.
That was a great read. Guy goes sprinting up the field on an option play. That tells you as a quarterback, tuck it away when he crosses your face like that, especially at that speed.
Two backs in the game. Rich Rod told us there was a chance Fox was going to play regardless tonight. That one, the road to nowhere. Hubbard hit by Glasgow. Those linebackers, Glasgow and Kelly, you're hard-pressed to find a better tandem in college football.
I just seem to think Isaiah Glasker's a future first-round pick. You know, he can run, he's got hands. He used to play wide receiver, so you know the speed is there. Played it in high school. Just a sideline-to-sideline player that just makes plays whenever you're in his area, and he can clean up things that get a little mixed and muddy on the back end. He can clean it up for you.
Wilkins in the pocket, steps up, takes off, and that time tripped up by Jack Kelly inside the 30, a pickup of 6. Injured Cougar down at the 30-yard line.
So what do you want? All of a sudden, all these quarterback runs forcing BYU to play 11 on 11, and not sure who the player is.
Maybe timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
Jack Kelly, and they could ill afford to lose him.
Another player down too. That's Viliami Poua.
You lose two really good players in one play, one sequence. Poua is the defensive end to one side. Kelly just kind of got tossed around and hung on a little bit to Wilkins. Not sure if that's a forearm or a shoulder that they're looking at. Man, what a player.
Players, yeah. Poua is the son of BYU defensive tackle coach Sione Poua. Kelly was the Big 12 newcomer of the year last year when he followed Jay Hill, the defensive coordinator from Weber State, to BYU. So Poua up.
4 years of starting experience for Jack Kelly in this defense of Jay Hill's, dating back, as you mentioned, to Weber State, and that does not look good.
No, it's a big-time loss.
You can tell there is a lot of pain going on there with Jack Kelly. West Virginia, 23 plays, Anish, 12 have been quarterback runs.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Parker Kingston, a couple of first-quarter touchdowns for BYU. A more pressing issue for the Cougars, the status going forward for Jack Kelly.
Runs. What do you like about that aspect of your offense?
Well, we're just trying to get an extra number in the run game. You know, they're pretty stout defensively. You know, we gave them one bad mistake early in the game, and the kids are playing hard. We just got to execute a little better.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It has been a lot of quarterback run. Khalil Wilkins has taken quite a few hits in the first quarter. Another QB run. Wilkins on third down. Stopped well short, and Does West Virginia try for the points here? It looks like they will. They'll kick the field goal. Kate Hensley, the Coastal Carolina transfer, will come on.
Wilkins trying to convince his head coach, Rich Rodriguez, to go for it there on 4th down. 4th and 5 to be exact. They elect to try to get this field goal pushed through.
Wilkins on pace for about 200 rushing yards and 40-plus carries. A 45-yarder. And Hensley gets the Mountaineers on the board. Sunday NFL Countdown gets you started with Week 5, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. No Lamar Jackson when the Ravens take on the Texans. Andre, you got interest in that game?
Yeah, they still got that big fella in the backfield that gets headaches as well.
They do, but you don't have to worry about the other guy who can run. And then Chiefs-Jaguars, Jacksonville, one of the surprise teams. They're 3-1, first-year head coach Liam Cohen. Travis Hunter hasn't really done a whole lot. While the Chiefs, after that 0-2 start, is starting to find their mojo. They've won 2 straight. We saw what Mahomes did, lighting up the Ravens last time out.
Yeah, and they're starting to get healthy at the right time, getting some players back. Maybe a Worthy back in the offense, and we saw what he means to Kansas City in terms of an element of speed that he brings as well.
Cody Hagan to return this kick from Ethan Head.
He's got some speed. Parker Kingston with some wheels as well.
BYU ball at the 25. Cougars not run that many plays from this deep. First drive, they started inside their own 15. Bachmar's play was a 48-yard bomb to Chase Roberts.
And he's already over 100 yards passing. 4 or 5, 104 and a touchdown pass. That long, as you mentioned, of 54 yards. Off to a pretty good start tonight.
Impressive kid when we talked to him.
Very, very much so. And just enjoyed the entire conversation. Mature beyond his years.
True freshman stepping in for a veteran team. Hands off to L.J. Martin. Came into the game averaging more than 7 yards a carry.
Andre, you're talking about Parker Kingston and his wheels. You know where he got them from? His grandmother, Linda Huddleston, maiden name Linda Hamilton. She ran track here at BYU, the 100 and the 200 from 1969 to 1973. So the wheels are from Grandma.
Inherited the wheels from Grandma.
My grandma,
I was wondering where Carp was going with that
race.
Yeah, I was wondering where he was going with that initially, but it all came together.
That's Hagan. He's got some wheels too, and he tumbles across the 30, a pickup of 6.
Yeah, he is a young player who just keeps growing, keeps getting better. They told us he was an excellent reverse runner and speed sweeps and things of that sort. And they didn't waste much time getting him the football in the first quarter. About play number 2 or 3, he had the ball in his hands.
With JoJo Phillips, their best vertical threat out, Hagan has stepped into that 3rd receiver role. Big-time player out of high school here in the state of Utah.
Looks like Bachmeier may be changing the play here.
Bachmeier will keep. Hammerheads forward, extends, and picks up the first down.
Boy, is he tough or what?
Runs like a 47.
Yeah, 220 pounds, and he doesn't shy away from anything. I mean, lowers those shoulder pads, good body lean, and stretching to pick up the first down.
As the story goes, he wore 47 as a kid. He was playing running back. And then by the time he moved to quarterback around middle school, 8th grade, he'd already been playing linebackers. And I'm not going to change the number. Stuck with 47. Bachmeier's got time. Lets it fly. A lot of contact. And we get the flag with Coates in coverage on Roberts.
Well, the side judge is saying no. And that flag came from somewhere else.
Well, the back judge threw it.
And on that numbered thing with Bachmeier, nobody's going to fight him for 47. He can have that, baby.
Defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
There was a great video that was out there recently with Michael Irvin in 47. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, that's
the number
great.
he wore in Miami.
Yeah. The hoodwink that Jimmy Johnson pulled on him, saying it was like a 747 landing in the end zone.
And you're going to get all these touchdowns. Irvin bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
That's awesome.
Martin jigsaws his way.
Nice run.
And continues forward for a gain of 9. And to cap the story, years later, when Michael Irvin ran into Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy told him, "I can't believe you fell for it."
Yeah. He says, "What's that?" You know, the whole 47 thing. Oh, you know. Yeah, that was a great story. Love Mike and his passion for the game. We had some battles with them early on before they became the franchise that we now know.
Martin again. This is what BYU can do against West Virginia. They're just bigger, they're more experienced,
and this is
more
what we thought they would do. This is exactly what I thought. There would be a ton of L.J. Martin. Would A-Rod tell us about 20+ touches in this one? That's a mix of running and receiving. But we've always felt like coming into this one that they would rely on the big offensive line and the power running of L.J. Martin.
Right back to Martin as a hole, and he picks up about 8 more. 2nd down and 2.
One of the linebackers, Carrico, I think it is, kind of grabbed a hold of L.J. Martin. You cannot arm tackle a guy like L.J. Martin. Just pulled him, and he immediately reached for his shoulder.
And this is a running back room. Remember, their number 2 back, Sione Moa, is out. He's still going to be out a few more weeks, according to Kalani Sitake. Not a ton of depth. They've got Enoch Nawahine. He's into the game now. And then young guys who just don't have a ton of experience, Preston Rex and Jovessa Demouni. This time it's Nawahine. And he shakes his way for a 1st down inside the 30.
Nawahine just kind of kept working his way and working, and then finally got himself into the rotation. Good receiver out of the backfield as well.
Injured West Virginia player is Marshawn Oxley, one of their pass rushers. We will step aside with 10:25 to go in quarter number 2.
Beautiful Provo, Utah. And a little concerning news from the BYU sideline. Reports from the BYU staff. Star linebacker Jack Kelly, upper body injury, will be reevaluated. He was in the tent, reevaluated at halftime, but it's unlikely he will return. And the combination, Andre, you know, with Isaiah Glasker and Jack Kelly, that might be the best 1-2 punch in terms of linebackers, not only in the Big 12, but possibly nationally.
I think it is. I think it's the best linebacking duo in the country. And they're going to miss Jack Kelly.
L.J. Martin back in there. Bachmeier keeps it. Muscles ahead for a couple.
Stan corrected Anish. It was Ashton Woods for West Virginia that went off, not Carrico. Carrico's back in the game. It was actually his backup, Ashton Woods, who went off holding a shoulder. They told us they only wanted to run Bear Bachmeier about 8 times. Wound up running him about 15 last week, and that was a little too much for Coach Sitake.
Bachmeier finding Hagan. And he snakes close to the 1st down marker. There's Carrico.
Could be really close.
Stop.
With just the quickness, the suddenness of Cody Hagan. Just freezes guys, and then all of a sudden he hits a gear that is pretty impressive.
Andre, one QB to another. What do you like about the evolution of Bachmeier as a passer?
Well, I like the fact, Anish, that they have given him some freedom at the line of scrimmage as a freshman. I often refer to it that guys are playing the position with one arm tied behind their back. If you can't check plays at the line of scrimmage.
Martin breaks the tackle in the backfield and gets the push from the pile to pick up the 1st.
And the smarts, I'll put a bow on that, the smarts to get them to the correct plays. And then to know when to run it, when to throw it.
For an injury to a defensive player.
Where to go with it, and you're starting to see the physicality of that big offensive line of BYU just kind of wearing down this front seven of West Virginia.
And that's Hammond, Russell. It's a West Virginia team already so beat up on offense. You're Rich Rod. I know you're watching the scoreboard. Yes, you're in the game, but there's a part of you that probably also just wants to get out of Provo healthy.
There's still a big portion of the schedule left with UCF. They got to get through this one tonight and then a bye week to try to get some of these bodies back healthy where they resemble what they thought would be their team coming out of fall camp.
Hammond, Russell, fifth-year senior, and all five at West Virginia.
Don't see that much.
Spent the last few years as a big part of their D-line rotation.
He's a big nose tackle. He is hard to move inside. Lands on that shoulder. And they're trying to make a tackle on L.J. Martin. He just kind of comes down on that left shoulder. You see him right away reach for it. This is where they like their big tight end. They get down here, Carson Ryan, who is a complete tight end. Excellent blocker, excellent receiver, tremendous size.
The fake to Kingston. Screen pass picked off by Chase Wilson. He's the heartbeat of this West Virginia defense, and he brings it out back across the 35-yard line.
Transfer from Colorado State, two-time All-MAC performer.
West Virginia.
He had over 230 tackles at Colorado State. So when he showed up in West Virginia, he had a ton of experience, and he's just going to read the eyes of Bachmeier and steps right in front of Carson Ryan, who they wanted to go to for the interception.
Vestarinen was born and raised in Finland, and he's our Friday night spotlight. When he was 14, he got hooked on American football by watching YouTube and eventually found a local football club which did summer camp tours in the U.S. After high school, he joined the Finnish Army, where he spent close to a year serving in urban area recon and a surveillance unit. With his sights set on playing college football, he posted workouts on Twitter, and his first power conference offer was West Virginia, and he jumped on it. Eddie V also speaks 4 languages: Finnish, English, Latvian, and French. He also sings and he plays the saxophone. Talk about a jack of all trades, gentlemen.
He is a man of all seasons as West Virginia picks
pretty good run stopper too
by Gerard Bowie.
Now he's rooting on his offense to try to close the gap in this game, put the big points on the board.
No Jack Kelly for BYU. Arm in a sling, out for the game. Blitz off the edge, it's picked up. Wilkins heaves one into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Wanted Cam Vaughn, their top receiver.
Yeah, covered well on the back end by Evans Johnson, and I wouldn't mess with him a lot. He's got a ton of speed. He's excellent in man coverage, and he's already got 2 interceptions to his credit.
Ace Kafusi, number 18, taking the place of Jack Kelly. 3rd and 2. They keep it on the ground. Edwards with little traction. It's going to be 4th down, about a yard, minus territory. What does Rich Rod do?
Khalil Wilkins. Oh, they missed quick snap, BYU.
Might be the old tush push. It is. Flag down. It's going to be on BYU.
It's going to be offside, so it'll be a 1st down no matter what.
And we've seen West Virginia use that play this season.
Offside. Defense lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty. The yardage results in a first down.
Are you surprised more college teams don't use that play?
I'm actually shocked they don't. Now that, you know, it's become kind of normalized in the NFL that you don't see a little bit more of this.
Well, I know how heated you get when teams on 3rd and short, 4th and short try to QB sneak from the shotgun.
Yeah, and, you know, smart way to do it is going under center, obviously.
Here's the toss to Edwards, and he is detonated by Satuala, the safety, for a loss of 4.
Well, he read that thing and came flying up from his secondary spot right there, just right immediately into the backfield. Had him playing kind of low into the box, but he hit it going full speed and did not stop whatsoever, didn't slow up at all.
Edwards, who had a big game in the win against Pitt, 141 yards, 3 TDs. Not much today, coming back from the hip injury. Line drive over the middle.
What a grab.
Reaching up, it's Smith Brown who brings it in. No, incomplete. He could not hold on.
Yeah, the 5th-year senior from South Carolina State, unable to hold on. I think once he came down, just to track it was pretty amazing in and of itself, and then all of a sudden it started moving around when he hit the ground. That would have been some catch, and would have given this offense of West Virginia a lift.
And in its present state, West Virginia just isn't built for 3rd and 14, especially if they're going to pass. A timeout by Rich Rod.
Timeout, West Virginia, the first of the half.
Only 13 passing yards today for West Virginia, with Wilkins making his first career start.
Just at the end of this, the ball's going to move around. Even though the knee's down, he still has to survive the ground, and there's too much movement of the ball. Therefore, it was upheld, and we play on.
They looked at the play, they reviewed it, call on the field upheld, and West Virginia gets its timeout back because the review was so close to Rich Rod calling the timeout. And that is incomplete. And for West Virginia, 3rd and 14, really, it's not the formula for any team, but right now their offense just isn't built to beat you vertically.
We're looking to maybe pick up some of that, and because of your past midfield, maybe consider going for it, but you come up empty there.
I was going to ask you, that might have been a spot where a quarterback draws something like that. Yeah. You get 7-8 now.
Now going for it on 4th down would have been in play, but you get nothing in the passing game.
Fair catch called for by Kingston. And now a quick word from BYU's last drive ended with its first offensive turnover of the season. It was the first interception of young Bear Bachmeier's career. Split backs now with Nawahine and Martin. Off the RPO, what a strike! Chase Roberts chugging across the 40, tight ropes the sideline, and finally pulled down by Darian Lewis at the 4-yard line.
How about that throw, though? I mean, it caught or hit Chase Roberts right in stride, right out in front. Didn't have to break stride. That's what put Michael Coates Jr. in a compromising spot. It was the placement of the ball. Now you're playing chase with, and no pun intended, with Chase Roberts.
2 big catches for Roberts today. One for 48, that one for 85.
Well, that's an excellent throw and catch and good read by Bachmeier.
L.J. Martin in for 6.
Boy, big plays, been a huge part of this game early, and Chase Roberts seems to be on the end of most big plays in this BYU offense.
They've had pass plays tonight, Andre, of 48, 54, and 85.
I was going to say, he's on par to throw for 400. More than that now.
I mean, that's Andre Ware territory.
Well, BYU was doing it long before I did it, my man.
Play is under further review. The runner on the field is a touchdown.
We've got Matt Austin with us tonight. Let's see if Matt brought an extra cup of coffee with him.
Well, of course I did. See what the touchdown is, or if he's short or not.
Ruling on the field, Matt, was a touchdown. So what are we looking at here?
Well, is the knee down before the ball goes across? I think the knee is down, but you don't have a great shot of the ball and when the knee hits the ground. That shot down the goal line would be perfect, but there's too many players in the way. And the shot from the back of the end zone, you see the knee go down, but you can't see the ball. So I don't see anything here to overturn the call.
Certainly not on that look. Replay official is Gerald Austin. Any relation, Matt?
No, he's not related.
Well, I tell you, we'll get a chance to go back and look at that read and the throw to Chase Roberts here after the extra point. But man, what, you know, the ability to dissect once the ball is snapped.
After review, the ruling of a touchdown is upheld.
It's going to stand.
BYU also gets the ball to begin the third quarter, which makes this next drive for West Virginia critical. You don't score if BYU then scores. All of a sudden, you take West Virginia out of the run game.
Right.
It creates some problems.
Let's go back and take a look at this play. You got to keep an eye here. When you know you have a slant or a post route coming, that's your read as a quarterback. Once he disappears, now you know you have the area, the room in which to hit Chase Roberts. And Bachmeier does a nice job of kind of dissecting it. His eyes goes to the safety. Once he vacates, the ball is out and in front of Roberts. Then it becomes a foot race with Michael Coates Jr. Excellent read on the part of the young quarterback, and the throw was even better than the read.
You know, gentlemen, I was anxious to see how Bear Bachmeier would handle himself on the sideline after that first interception he's thrown all season. And talk about competitive focus and fire. Like when you see it in an athlete's eye, you know he's not rattled. And you talk to people around the program, they've seen nothing like it for a true freshman. Offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick told us this week he's giving him more at the line and the ability to improv and audibles at the line than anyone he's coached ever. And this kid is special. His IQ, his focus, and how calm he is. Keep in mind, he is a true freshman.
Yeah, and most freshmen, that look would have been enough to scare a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of experienced quarterbacks in college football away from throwing the slant route. He stayed with it, read the coverage out. Once the safety vacated, now there's all types of room if Chase Roberts just gets any type of separation, and indeed he did.
Kalani Sitake told us this week that Kalani himself will get animated on the sidelines.
Yeah.
We'd like to see him dance before the game. He says, I'll get animated. I look at Bear Bachmeier, he keeps me calm. Will Wilkins still in there for West Virginia. Quarterback draw. That's his 12th carry already, and he's pulled down by Siale Essera. He's the third linebacker with Glasgow and the now injured Jack Kelly. Made a couple plays tonight.
Yeah, he's saying, hey, what about me? Don't forget me. He is a backup for 3 years, or to 3-year starter Harrison Taggart. And last year now he takes over for him this year and has been a tackling machine in the middle of their defense.
Wilkins keeps it off the fake. Met with resistance a couple of yards shy of the marker. Third down.
Boy, the speed of this BYU defense, it allows Jay Hill to do a lot because it looks like there may be an opening and it closes up quickly. This graphic, 15 rushes by West Virginia. The rest of the team only 9, 82 yards, and the 20 for everybody else. It's been all quarterback runs for this West Virginia offense.
This time they'll try to run it with a running back in Hubbard, and he's able to get just enough for a first. They came into this season with Jaheim White expected to be their top running back. He is out for the season. Edwards coming back from a hip just hasn't looked great in this first half. We haven't really seen Sincere Bowers out of concussion protocol.
Or Clay Ash, who got the start against Kansas a few weeks ago.
Wilkins throws on the run. Too much helium in the direction of Preston Fox.
That's the thing about young quarterbacks, and which is why you're even more so impressed with a guy like Bear Bachmeier. He changes gears. You know, it's not a fastball all the time. A lot of young quarterbacks just want to throw it hard and prove to you that they can throw it hard. Sometimes you got to change gears. The change up every once in a while, the off-speed stuff works just as effective.
I tell you though, Uncle Rico would like it here. He could throw it over the mountains. Speed option. Pitch to Hubbard. BYU closing quickly. It's Tanner Wall, the safety.
Boy, well played. Just enough by Ezra to kind of hold him off. And then here comes the secondary, and Tanner Wall flying up. Both he and Satuala, two safeties that have played outstanding so far here in the first half for BYU.
West Virginia has 13 yards passing all game. It's 3rd and 10.
Kafusi in for Jack Kelly. That's a name around here that a lot of people know that last name.
His aunt Michelle is the mayor of Provo. Nickel blitz. Wilkins read it, finds Hubbard, and he is tackled at the 44. He's going to be short. It's 4th down with 2:45 remaining in the half.
Alfrey coming up from the other safety spot to make a tackle, and that's the speed that I just described a little bit earlier. That looked like it was going to go for a while. That screen looked like it may break, and then all of a sudden here comes Alfrey to make a one-on-one tackle in the open field.
Are you surprised BYU's not using a timeout here?
A little bit, but they know they're getting the ball to start the second half, and they still have the 3 timeouts, the 2-minute timeout.
There's Kingston, dangerous return man, gobbled up near the 15. This Saturday, pretty good lineup on ABC for you. Kentucky goes to Georgia at noon. That was a close game last year. Vandy upset Bama in Nashville last year. Can they do it in Tuscaloosa, especially considering Alabama's coming off a win against Georgia and then a critical
Pavia fan, my man. I love some Diego Pavia. Saw him play and did one of his games at New Mexico State. He transfers to Vanderbilt and brought his winning ways with her.
If he beats Alabama again this year,
oh my goodness,
your Heisman text thread is going to start buzzing.
Yeah, and he'll be on it if he pulls that one off. But that young man is a winner and just a tough competitor.
He might be looking over his shoulder in New York. Carson Ryan, talented 6'4" tight end, goes slot right. Nickel blitz, pitch is knocked backwards. West Virginia able to cover it up. Instincts in the read by Fred Perry to get disruptive, and boy did West Virginia need that.
Well, they needed it and needed it in a bad
backwards
way.
pass recovered by the defense, 1st down.
+6
West
in the
Virginia.
turnover margin coming in to today's ball game, and already they've turned it over twice. An interception and now a fumble recovery by West Virginia, setting them up. It's a pretty good field position. Fred Perry is just a menace. He's all over the field. When you turn the video on to watch West Virginia's defense, he just makes play after play, not afraid to come up and hit you from the secondary. He flashes, and there, a big play to set up his offense.
He followed Rich Rod from Jacksonville State to West Virginia. 1st and goal, Mountaineers. The handoff to Hubbard. Feet turning and in for 6.
That's the offense taking advantage of a turnover provided by Fred Perry on the defense. Complimentary football at its finest. And don't look now, but West Virginia right back in this thing.
The PAT is good. Fred Perry is a known disruptor. That touchdown came off of his 7th career forced fumble.
Let's go back and take a look at the big play by Fred Perry, who is the option man for Bear Bachmeier. He is to get to him as quickly as possible so that he eats up and Fred Perry can't play in the middle. But he kind of slows down, waiting for Perry to come to him, and it allows Perry to play in between. Just kind of slows down, never really gets Perry to commit, and then therefore the ball's on the ground and a nice recovery for West Virginia. So when you run the option, you have got to attack the end man on the line of scrimmage or your option principle.
Hagan has the 20. Nice return, driven down at the 27. ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks. It's a Friday night in Provo, Utah. Kalani Sitake's team 4-0 in the top 25.
Would you believe it if I told you that we ran the option at Houston?
How long?
We didn't run it a lot, but short yardage situations, it was always in play to audible to. When you get down near the goal line, that's where I really liked it, because it was so quick, and 9 times out of 10 they wanted to hit me anyway, so I was just giving it to Chuck Weatherspoon to walk into the end zone.
Bachmeier again downfield. What a strike. It's Kingston. Boy, the big plays, the explosives through the air have made the offense go tonight.
And he is spreading the wealth as well. I know he hit Brett Roberts on too, but that is a dime. You cannot walk it into the hands of Cody Hagan any better than it was thrown by Bear Bachmeier there.
Have you started to sense a pattern? First play of the drive. We've seen some shot plays from BYU. That momentarily stopped the clock
with that catch.
BYU still has all 3 timeouts. Martin picks up the blitz. Bachmeier to the sideline. That's his go-to. Chase Roberts out of bounds near the first down marker. It stops the clock, and Roberts close to 140 yards receiving in the first half.
Tell you what, A-Rod did not tell us any fibs, did he? He told us the 3 top pass catchers, Parker Kingston, Cody Hagan, and Chase Roberts, will be the guys on the receiving end, and all 3 have made big plays in this one.
On second down, Martin gets the call. Cutback lane not there. Eddie Kelly hasn't been an embrace, but it's still enough to move the chains. That momentarily stops the clock.
That's a big dude, 6'5", 288, playing defensive end for West Virginia, wearing the number 1. That thing, the 1 looks so small on a guy like that.
I've always preferred 0, more form-fitting, right?
I like to see the big guys with single digits on.
And a penalty marker.
False start on BYU here.
False start, offense, number 11, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Now no 10-second to run off because the clock was stopped.
Ready to get that motor going. Grandma's speed. He's one of the fastest players on this team, 10.5 in the 100 meters. He can go.
BYU gets the ball to begin the 3rd quarter as well.
The foul included a 10-second runoff. BYU is elected to use their first time out of the half to avoid the 10-second runoff. Timeout, BYU. 30 seconds in length.
Well, pardon me, the clock was running, so that will stop the 10-second runoff.
Let's take a look at some of the big plays to start the game. Open it up with a big 54-yard completion to Chase Roberts. Then the interception by Alexander down inside the 5-yard line. Then it was Parker Kingston taking a screen pass all the way to the house. And Bachmeier threading the needle to Kingston once again. Impressive. The true freshman quarterback just distributing the football and moving it around to a number of different receivers in this offense for BYU.
I wondered initially why the 10-second runoff wasn't called right away. The clock was running, so 1:02 to go. BYU uses the timeout to avoid the runoff. Now they're backed up. Here's the blitz. Bachmeier takes a hit. Diving attempt. Did Hagan hold on? He did. It's another first down inside the 15. A gain of 20 more. Bachmeier in the first half has set a career high in pass yards, but Hagan is down.
Completed pass. Timeout on the field for an injury to an offensive player.
Yeah, I think Hagan may have gotten the wind knocked out of him as he rolled over that onto the football.
And West Virginia is saying it was incomplete. We'll get another look.
What an effort. Yeah, and it did touch the ground. This is going to be an incompletion. Once they get a chance to look at it, the ball hits the ground long before his hands go under it. What an effort, though. And I think the Bear knew it was an incompletion. He was trying to get everybody up to the line of scrimmage and get the ball snapped.
Should be a quick review.
Replay has determined that the pass was incomplete. Second down from the previous spot.
So you take those 20 yards off the ledger for Bachmeier, who is now 3 yards away from setting a career high in pass yards. 9 of 12, 244, a touchdown and a pick. The one flaw in the first half, something he didn't do in his first 4 games.
First one all year.
2 turnovers.
Yeah, 2
fumble, and then the pick.
And the interception. The interception to Chase Wilson, who stepped right in front of the screen pass intended for Carson Ryan, who has yet to get his mitts on a pass from Bear Bachmeier. Don't imagine it's going to be much longer, though.
Roberts has 140 yards receiving, 91 for Kingston. On play action, Martin again picks up the blitz. Bachmeier dancing in the pocket. Throws well behind Kingston, who wasn't looking. Covered by Carter, the safety.
But just the maturity in which he plays the game. Went through spring ball at Stanford and made his way to Provo, Utah, and found himself in a quarterback competition. Hillstead, Bourget, and he was the one who emerged as the starter, and they've, as Clark told us, have added a little more to his plate each and every time out.
Let's see how they play this third down, knowing they've got a strong-footed kicker. Keep it on the ground. It's Bachmeier, second level, and a hair shy of the line to gain. Clock running inside of 40 seconds.
Gut tells
it's going to be 4th and less than a yard.
Coach Satake's going to go for it here.
And a timeout by BYU. So calling the timeout.
Timeout.
Instead of letting the clock run down, tells you
everything
they're going to go for it.
Yep.
Clock operator, please, with 35 seconds on the play clock, on the game clock, please. 3-5. Thank you.
Now, so much of what BYU's tried to do this season with its quarterback was to slowly amp up the offensive menu. They've given him a lot, especially in the pass game. Bear Bachmeier's answered the call.
Yeah, he has. I mean, and with precision, throwing guys open, hitting them on the run where they don't miss a beat. They're right in stride, and that turns a big play into an even larger play. Just the accuracy, the toughness, and he's a true freshman. We keep mentioning that. He's been outstanding here in the first half.
4th down and short. They go for it. The lunge. Looks like the spot will give BYU the first down. Bachmeier, the quarterback keeper.
And hopefully, for BYU's sake, they called a second play during that timeout. They knew they were going to sneak it, pick up the first down, and then now get right back to running their offense.
Clock stops momentarily after that first down. They get it to the tight end. And Ryan clanged out of bounds, a gain of 6.
You knew it wouldn't be long before Ryan got his mitts on one. And there, getting out of bounds. Nice smart play to stop the clock. But here, let's go back and look at the quarterback sneak. They get great push along the right side.
L.J. Martin, a little tush push on his QB.
Helping him out a little bit. Come back and hit Ryan with a little flat route. And now look for him to throw to the end zone here.
One timeout at play for BYU. Bachmeier, incomplete. That hit the back of Jason Chambers, and we get a flag.
Never had a chance to turn around.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. The foul occurred in the end zone. They'll all be placed at the 2-yard line for a first down.
He found himself in man-to-man coverage. He's a better zone corner than he is man-to-man, and he's working against one of the better receivers in the country in Chase Roberts. That's a tall order for Jason Chambers. Now you get it right on somewhere around the 2-yard line or so, with plenty of time and a timeout still left in your back pocket.
Empty set for Bear Bachmeier. Fakes to Martin. Bachmeier walks it in untouched. It feels like we are watching over these last few weeks the emergence of a star quarterback for BYU.
And one that this entire program believes in, knows that they can win with, and every single week the young man gets a little bit better. I know that he threw an interception earlier in this game, but you know, he shrugged that off and has come back and dropped a couple of dimes since doing so.
We know West Virginia's had its struggles, and it's been a tough few weeks over in Morgantown, and they're down 28-10. But for a true freshman, Andre, to step into a veteran team, a team that was close last year before a few late stumbles, a team that came into this season with the belief internally and also nationally that if Jake Retzlaff was the quarterback on BYU, Andre, this is not just a playoff team. This might be a team that could win playoff games, plural.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and make a nice run towards a national championship. But they are not far off with Bear Bachmeier and the way he's playing now. And if he continues to grow in the manner that he's grown in this first 5 weeks of the season, boy, look out the rest of the Big 12 as well as anybody on the schedule going forward for on BYU's schedule.
There's still one more half to play, and then BYU's got a pretty staunch gauntlet ahead of itself.
At Iowa State, at Texas Tech, tough games.
We still have about a month until the first playoff rankings come out, but look at the percentages out of the Big 12 for teams to make the playoff. Texas Tech at 36%, then BYU, big drop-off before you get to Iowa State and Arizona State. Texas Tech's got a big one tomorrow against an undefeated Houston team.
Yeah, on the road, but I wonder last year if Arizona State had even a 12% chance, because they were picked at the bottom of the Big 12 and got to the college football playoff. A lot that's going to change between now and then, but Texas Tech has got one really good football team.
Dior Hubbard on first down. What Arizona State had last year was Cam Scatterboot.
He's doing big things for the Giants right about now.
They are loving him in East Rutherford.
Yes, they are, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Our producer, Chris Damiani, a Giants fan, echoed that sentiment. For West Virginia, Khalil Wilkins staring at an 18-point halftime deficit on the road. BYU gets the ball 5-0 for a second consecutive season. West Virginia trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. And Ashraf, Andre Ware will get to Paul Carcaterra in a minute. The BYU passing offense and the big plays, the story of that first half.
Yeah, I mean, just dropping dimes all over the place. Bear Bachmeier, impressive as a true freshman that we've seen, you know, all season long. And that study and film, everything, the calmness in which he plays the game and the first half that he had, I mean, he is on pace for a huge, huge night.
Already he has set a career high in pass yards, 249. BYU will receive the third quarter kick. It's run out by Hagan. Changes direction. Now to about the 27 as we look at tonight's game track, brought to you by American Express.
You see just the dominance by BYU, the passing yards, kind of knowing what they're known for around these parts, but we thought they'd come out running the football. It's been West Virginia in that department. Just overall, the way they operated with a true freshman, it's impressive.
Bear Bachmeier, number 47, the quarterback for BYU, just the 5th start of his career. First down, he hands it off. And a nice twisting run by Jovessa DeMooney as we check in with Paul Carcaterra.
Well, you two are talking about Bear Bachmeier, the true freshman quarterback, and Kalani Sitake at halftime told me he's thrilled with the way he's performed in that first half, but most notably the way he responded after that first interception, the resolve and the ability to get right back into the game, and the big plays he thinks are a result of Bachmeier's ability to dissect the defense and his touch as a passer.
I go back to DeMooney. Well, we came away impressed with Bachmeier's maturity when we spoke to him. This is a guy who picks up things quickly. He's a fast learner, taught himself how to play the guitar, learned a song within a week. He's musically inclined. He comes from a family where everybody's All-American. They do many things well. They're great in the classroom, extracurriculars, and then they excel athletically. Bachmeier is hit, and incomplete for Roberts.
Well, he took a shot right then. Reed Carrico was the guy that was able to get into the grill of Bachmeier, and he bounced right back up. He took the shot, delivered the football, and bounced right back up. And not a lot of guys are going to bounce up after a shot like that. Quick count here, the way they're approaching the line of scrimmage.
Kingston on the sweep. Ambushed for a loss. It's 3rd and long. Eddie Kelly, who just checked in with the TFL.
Kelly just grabbed a hold of Parker Kingston and just flung him around like a rag doll. He got a handful of jersey and just would not let go.
We had some rain at halftime. It has stopped. It's been on and off.
It's exactly where West Virginia wants to have BYU.
Bachmeier finds his brother Tiger. And he's going to be awfully close to the marker, but a hair short. Tiger Bachmeier's 2nd catch of the season. He followed Bear from Stanford in the spring to BYU in the fall.
Just a little hitch route on the outside, and there's no hesitation by Tiger.
How about Tiger graduated from Stanford in 2.5 years?
That tells you a lot about the family, what academics mean, and it's impressive.
He's a young man. He can fly airplanes, write computer code.
They're 1 for 1 on 4th down. Here they go again.
They're going to go for it. Not a surprise. They run it, and they get it. That time, they go to L.J. Martin, their bell cow.
Right up the middle behind big Bruce Mitchell, the center. Took over for Connor Pay. He moved from left guard to center this year, and they haven't missed a beat up front. Nice communicator. He barks out a lot of stuff and helping out his quarterback, Bear Bachmeier.
Ryan, the tight end, goes wide. That one juggled, hauled in by Ryan. Boy, they love this kid.
Yeah.
6'4", 250, Orem, Utah native, who spent time at UCLA and the University of Utah.
Yeah, there are a lot of pros walking around this program, and he's one of them. Just a big 6'4" tight end that can run, catch, and block. They split him out wide, not afraid to do that, and you see the hands there, just able to track the football, catch the ball with his hands for a big guy. That's a valuable, valuable asset.
Roberts, the motion man, and multiple flags.
That started a little bit early.
False start. Offense, number 61, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Now Waylon Lapuaho, the left guard. White hat is David Alvarez.
4-year starter himself, and an excellent run blocker on this offensive line for BYU.
Screen pass to L.J. Martin. Got one block on the perimeter, did the rest of it himself. Second down.
Is he tough or what? I mean, guys just bouncing off him. He about took the arm of Ashton Woods with him on one play earlier in this game, tried to arm tackle him. That's not a back that you're going to arm tackle at all, and maybe ever. So strong in the lower body, and I think the only thing that slows him down is an ankle injury. He suffered an ankle injury last year, and that gave him some problems. But boy, is he a good back.
And he just picks up the blitz. That pass incomplete. Broken up, intended for Tiger Bachmeier.
Carrico again making a nice play. Almost got his hands on one. His linebacker mate Chase Wilson did, and nice job there reading the eyes of the quarterback, making a nice break on the football. And like I said, this is where you want BYU, but you have to understand that when they cross the 50-yard line, if they get it to third and medium, they're probably going for it on fourth down the majority of the time.
Four-man rush. Bachmeier stepping up. Not much room. Got a couple of yards. It's fourth down, and Farron likely will come on for a long field goal. So Will Farron, who
somewhere in the 52-yard range,
missed from 48 earlier. This will be about 53.
Yeah. He hit from 56 against Portland State, so he catches it. This should not be a problem.
Oh, it's the old fake. And a first down for BYU. Sam Vanderhaar, the holder, also the punter, picks up 11. Kalani's always got one in the back pocket.
Keep an eye on the left side of this formation and watch the hole that opens up for Sam Vanderhaar. I mean, it just opens up big time, a big gaping hole, and not until he's on the back end of things does it close up. Look at that, just walling people off left and right, and that allows for Vanderhaar to pick up the first down with ease.
L.J. Martin, patient run, and then suplex to the ground by Asani Redwood. When we talk to the West Virginia coaches, how many times do they say, you got to be aware of BYU's physicality and also the trick plays?
Well, you get them in a variety of ways. You get them on special teams, like you saw there, punt returns, field goals, and then Aaron Roderick, the offensive coordinator, he keeps them in his back pocket. There was a game earlier this year where he ran 3 trick plays in a row.
Kingston, that's a block from Ryan. There is a penalty marker.
That's usually in the area of holding, guys trying to, whether you feel your defender slipping off your block. Yep.
Offense number 4, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
L.J. Martin, the guilty party.
You know, one of the things that the BYU coaches told us, they said when it comes to trick plays, they've got a long list. Part of the reason they use them is because they practice them.
Yeah.
He said it engages all the guys involved, and that's a special teams play.
And they like it. And so if you have them and you don't call them, then guys stop believing in you. He says we get in a situation where we almost have to call them because we put so much emphasis on it during a week of practice.
Already a 6.5-minute drive. Bachmeier. Now you see 47 running up the middle. I mean, you want to just default to fullback dive. That's quarterback run.
That's quarterback, you know, after the fake, an outside zone play or a kind of a speed sweep to L.J. Martin, and then he tucks it up, and there is nothing but green grass in front of him. Got all the penalty yardage back, plus a yard or two.
7 minutes plus off the clock on this opening drive of the third quarter. Big call was a fake field goal, which resulted in a run for a first down. Inside handoff. L.J. Martin scratches inside the 20.
Every time someone starts talking about long drives, takes me back to years ago, the Navy drive that was over 14 minutes long, went from one quarter to the next, to third to the fourth quarter. That was impressive. Emerald Bowl way back when.
Now he wouldn't do it again, would he?
Would you put it past him?
No, I wouldn't
at all.
Again, they
It's
ran 3
5.
consecutive trick plays at one point this season.
Would not put it past him whatsoever. They're on alert for it now, though.
Did you watch what West Virginia did? No rush. Everybody stood back. And Will Ferrin puts it through from 37. A drive of 8+ minutes to begin the third by BYU.
Goal by Sam Vandehar. They pick up the first down there, but the effect it had on West Virginia's defense when they line up to actually kick the field goal, there's no rush whatsoever. Just the effect it had, that fake just froze everybody. We're on alert for the fake, and the field goal goes through Will Ferrin with ease.
Now, Rich Rod was thinking along with us, right? At 28-10, they're not going to call a fake. And then once you call it once, could he do it again?
They were on alert for it, thinking exactly that. Wegman's going to have to get the ball out of his hands in a quick way tomorrow night.
Vanderbilt looking to go to 6-0 for the first time since 1928. That's when Ruth and Garrett hit back-to-back in the Yankees lineup. And the last time, as you saw, Vandy and Bama played as ranked teams, 1937.
Yeah.
That was DiMaggio and Garrett.
Didn't realize the history of how numbers were, you know, back of numbers, or the numbers on the back of jerseys. It was basically the Yankees that came up with, and it was the batting order.
Batting order, yeah.
And I had no idea until I did a game at Yankee Stadium and went on a tour of the stadium.
Ruth at third, Garrett fourth.
Yep.
Khalil Wilkins doesn't get very far. It's 3rd down and 10. Kark.
This is West Virginia's first possession of the third quarter. And when I spoke to Rich Rodriguez at halftime, he said more quarterback run, but they need to block the edges much better to get the running game and Wilkins going. The passing game has been non-existent, 20 yards in the first half, and defensively said those big plays by Bachmeier are killing him. They need to put pressure on him, and they need to contest the deep ball.
BYU brings pressure. Wilkins with a BB across the middle, and it's a first down catch by Preston Fox.
Nice throw and catch there. Needed it in a hurry, and Wilkins able to deliver a little in route, maybe a slant, and broke it off.
Now using a little tempo, Dior Hubbard swarmed behind the line of scrimmage. Now the reason they've got to go to quarterback run, and we've mentioned Wilkins has taken some hits, the rest of the running game has been a non-threat.
Yeah, it has. I mean, I don't know what the carry breakup down is off the top of my head, but I'm telling you, there's a ton of quarterback runs, and I don't know if a guy can last the season with this many quarterback runs.
Wilkins straight ahead. It sets up a 3rd and 9.
So 17 quarterback runs, 14 by the others. That is a hefty number. And we saw Brock Bachmeier run it 15 times. They wanted to take it out of his hands and felt like that was too much last year. Bear, I'm sorry. I did. Finally went there. Bear Bachmeier.
3rd down. Wilkins to the air in the pocket. Now flush. Throws and another strike. First down into BYU territory. The tight end Grayson Barnes.
He transferred from Northern Illinois, and that's his 13th reception on the year. He's got a touchdown to add to it.
He was on that NIU team that beat Notre Dame a season ago. Wilkins loads up. Wants ball. Juggled.
Wow.
And intercepted. Tanner Wall stayed with it. That was a good throw by Wilkins.
It was a good throw. It should have been a catch. But credit Tanner Wall for not giving up on it. You see every teammate, especially the guys in the secondary, come over to congratulate him because they know exactly how tough that play was. Safety coming over the top.
Interception, first down, BYU. Timeout on the field.
Clearly had beaten the coverage. Should have been a catch, but the result is a pick. You see Tanner Wall coming over the top, stays with it, reels it in, and it's BYU's ball on the other side.
UFC 320 tomorrow night in Vegas, highlighted by 2 title fights. The light heavyweight features 2 bad men in Ankalaev and Pereira. Stonehands Pereira looks for revenge against Ankalaev. Prelims 8 Eastern, main card 10 Eastern on pay-per-view. Buy it at espnplus.com/PPV.
It was a good fight the first time. Probably going to be even better this time around.
BYU, meanwhile, after the interception by Wall, starting at its own 5. LJ Martin picks up 5.
That was a heck of a play by Tanner Wall from his safety spot to give the ball back to BYU.
That's the first. No, that's not Preston Rex. That is Demooney. Jovessa Demooney. So Preston Rex is in the game. Demooney's in there as well. And with the number 2 running back, Sione Moa, out, Kalani Sitake said if he got to a point in this game, he would love to go and give opportunities in the run game to both Rex and Demooney, both who have some speed.
Yeah, and it looks like Demooney has some home run type speed. A guy that you see it just itching to break one.
Demooney goes wide. Bachmeier throws him the screen. Has to beat a man in space. He does. Lost the football. It's recovered by West Virginia.
That's not going to make his head coach happy, because that's a turnover right at almost in the red zone for West Virginia. His ball secured.
Rolling on the field is a catch, a fumble, recovered by the defense, first down.
And that ball is out before he comes down.
Yeah, Fred Perry making another play, causing another fumble.
That's 2 today, 8 for his career. Ben Cutter covered it up. So BYU, which had not turned the ball over offensively all season, they had 1 special teams turnover, has now committed 3 turnovers.
An interception and 2 fumbles for this BYU offense, and the last time a fumble was created, West Virginia got in the end zone.
Wilkins, zone read keeper. Cycloned down by Logan Latui. So Wilkins on the last drive threw the pick, but that was a good throw, and it wasn't on the quarterback, and he made a couple of good throws before that. So, you know, for West Virginia, can you unlock a bit of Wilkins as a passer over these next 17 minutes?
Preston Fox, Grayson Barnes, and then that one was on the money to Vaughn. He just couldn't corral it, and it bounced up, and so you know Tanner Wall had it, but they get it right back here.
Out of a 2 tight end look, here is Dior Hubbard looking for some perimeter blocking.
Nice run.
Gets it, and it sets up a 1st and goal for West Virginia.
He read the block well, cut up inside of it, and then showed some speed and toughness to finish the run. That picks up the first down and gives them a goal-to-goal situation here.
That 9-yard run is the longest run by a non-West Virginia quarterback today. Hubbard to the outside, slips a tackle from Latui, and then falls forward for a couple.
It just shows you once again the speed of BYU's defense. It looked like Hubbard was going to come out of that first tackle and then have a shot to turn the corner. And BYU says, we can run on this side of the ball. And they got right to Hubbard and brought him down.
Wilkins rolls left, pump fakes, throws toward the end zone. It's knocked away. Pressure also coming from Latui. Third down, likely 4-down territory.
Jacob Barrick was the intended receiver, the tight end in the back of the end zone. Dangerous throw, though. There are a lot of blue jerseys to try to squeeze that into his tight end, Barrick. Here we are at third down already for West Virginia, and I got to believe this is 4-down territory.
West Virginia subbed, so BYU bringing in an armada of substitutes. Wilkins, QB draw. Touchdown, Khalil Wilkins.
Spread him out, get thin the look up for him up front, and it's easy to block when it's man on man. All you're trying to do is just invite a guy up the field and turn him. And that provided a nice big hole for Khalil Wilkins to get himself into the end zone. 2 fumbles, 2 touchdowns by West Virginia.
Officials timeout for an injury to an official.
We've got an official down.
Got caught up in all that blocking that was right in the middle of the formation. Checking him out, seems to be okay.
It's the headline judge, Rick Smith.
I wonder if Matt's got a story or two about getting tangled up in a pile.
We may find out after this kick.
Something tells me he does.
Matt, do they just shoot you up and put you back in there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you don't get much sympathy either. It's suck it up and rub some dirt on it and let's go.
What's the worst injury you've had covering a game?
You know, I got through pretty much unscathed, but I'll tell you one thing that was always dangerous, and I think this is what happened to the official here, is after an extra point where I would turn to give the good signal to the press box side, and then I'd punch out usually for a TV timeout and have guys walk by and jogging off the field and just smack into my knuckles, and that always hurt. But the other thing they do is these players are usually taller than I am, and they would brush by very quickly, and as I would turn around, they would brush by with their shoulder pads, and they were much bigger back in the day, and it would like rub right by the side of your face and sometimes in your eyebrow, and it would just leave like a burn. And it doesn't sound like much, but boy, those could sting.
Yeah, I bet a pair of shoulder pads back in the day could give you a nice little cut too.
Yes, it could.
I'm sure that was purely unintentional, Matt.
Oh, absolutely.
Hagan from his own end zone to the 25. This week's college football rankings brought to you by Capital One. Tell you what, Oregon with the win in Penn State last week and the play of Dante Moore. I know, Andre, you were telling us you think Dante Moore might be the guy right now.
Yeah. He is one of the best I've seen this year and in past years. And my goodness, he is a football player, passer, runner, winner, all of it rolled into one.
Bachmeier lets it fly. Another deep shot. And incomplete for Hagan. That's been the play. We've seen that on the first play of a series now 3 or 4 times tonight.
And he's trying to go up top to Hagan. They are not done throwing it, that's for sure. They're going to run their offense and try to continue the growth with this youngster who is Bachmeier.
He is 9 yards away from the first 300-yard passing game of his career.
He's going to have a lot of them before graduation date.
Moves the pocket. He's going to get it right here. Kingston navigates the sideline, and he's to the 45-yard line. That's another chunk play, 20 more yards for Parker Kingston.
He is a good-looking player. I'm not talking about Bachmeier. I'm talking about Parker Kingston. The way he can, downshift and get to 5th gear and, just run by defenders. The work that he does after the catch is just, it's unbelievable.
We go to the 4th quarter in Provo. BYU up 2 scores.
Coach, after that last West Virginia touchdown, I saw you fired up. What was on your mind?
Yeah, we got to take care of the football. I mean, we're just coughing up the ball and giving them another chance, and especially when we have some momentum on offense, and that will kill you right away. So it's the simple things, fundamentals of football, ball security.
What do you want to see from Bear on this drive?
Yeah, the whole entire offense is just one play at a time and take care of the football. That's all I care about right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
3 turnovers today for Kalani Sitake's BYU Cougars. It's led to 14 West Virginia points. True freshman Bear Bachmeier going far side to his brother Tiger.
That's not going to make the head coach
He's not going to be happy. That ball trickles out of bounds, but
not going to make the head man happy. And it happened right in front of him.
So a gain of 5.
Yeah, he almost seems disgusted right now with a 31-17 lead. This could turn into a game with a turnover and field position, so I understand.
L.J. Martin hit immediately by Vesterinen. That was Kark's Friday night spotlight, the young man from Finland.
Eddie V, known as a good run stopper and certainly showing that set of skills right there, along with a lot of others that Kark reported on.
If West Virginia comes up with a stop here, it changes the game. Plenty of time.
I'm saying any gain here in Kalani Sitake is going to go.
You think so?
On 4th down.
All right.
Yes.
Bachmeier has a wide open man. Another chunk play. Chase Roberts picks up 21 more. 160 yards on 4 catches tonight.
Well, he plays smaller than the 6'4" frame that he had.
What do you mean by that?
Because tall receivers seem to get gangly and long. He has quick, sudden burst, and when he catches it, he is immediately into top speed, which, it's a big-time compliment. When you're 6'4" and you can play like you're 5'11", that is a huge advantage.
He played at the same high school, American Fork, where Puka Nacua played. Play action. Flag down. This could be coming back. And Bachmeier finally gives in.
If I'm Bachmeier, I find somewhere to land softly is the minute I saw that flag come out. Protect yourself. It's coming back. You know it's holding.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Big Andrew Gentry, the Michigan transfer. And I mean big. 6'8", 315. From a football family. His father, Todd, played basketball at BYU. His brother played O-line. Brother JT played O-line here at BYU.
Bachmeier fly sweep, keeps it, and he picks up a huge chunk.
Got a lot of it back.
2nd and 7 from 1st and 20.
That was impressive. But what has he done that hasn't been impressive tonight? Throwing dimes to Kingston, Hagan, Roberts. The 10th play of 10 or more yards for this BYU offense.
Fred Perry, number 5 for West Virginia, up in the box. L.J. Martin pinballs for a short gain. Jamori Robinson brings him down. Robinson was the Defensive Player of the Year in the American Conference last year for UTSA. He missed the first 3 games of the year while sorting through an eligibility issue. The issue was, in terms of his football presence, he couldn't be with the team for fall camp. And so this was a big-time impact transfer who's still kind of feeling his way back.
They need him to get there in a hurry. That was the 31st play running the opponent's territory for BYU.
Back to Martin. He's going to be close. 4th down, you got to assume BYU's going to go for it.
They're going for it. And with L.J. Martin, he came into this game with already 400 yards on the season. And he was averaging about just under 7.5 yards a carry. That's production as a running back. And so we thought BYU's going to come in this one and just run at West Virginia's smaller defensive line. No, they came out throwing it with their freshman quarterback.
BYU is 3 for 3 on 4th down. They give it to Martin. He seems to have enough, but no signal yet.
Looked as though he slipped right as he started approaching the line of scrimmage, and was lucky to keep his balance and indeed pick up the 1st down.
Disappeared into the crowded wrap of that crowd, and it's 1st down. BYU back in the red zone. They'll use some more clock. This drive about 5 minutes long. They had an 8-minute drive to begin the 3rd quarter. Tiger Bachmeier in motion. Bear fakes to his brother. Throws downfield. Catch is made by L.J. Martin on the wheel. 1st and goal, BYU.
You can tell L.J. Martin put in a lot of work this offseason. I just don't remember him being this strong and hard to bring down, absorbing punishment and then staying on his feet. He had a nice offseason according to the coaches, and he got a lot stronger, maybe added a couple pounds as well.
Junior from El Paso, who's led the team in rushing the last 2 years.
To the pistol a little bit.
Leading the play clock down to 4. Down to 2. L.J. Martin. Close to the 1. Ben Bogle with the stop.
He and Ben Cutter. Bogle had him up top. Cutter had him around the ankles. He is a tough football player, L.J. Martin. And I would not shy away from giving him another carry right here.
A jumbo package for BYU. Martin punches it in.
So much is made about having a big 3, a quarterback, a receiver, and a running back. They've got about a big 5 or 6 with the 3 receivers, Bachmeier, L.J. Martin. You throw in Carson Ryan as well in there. I mean, it's just an impressive collection of skill position players.
Farron's PAT is good. It's back to a 3-score game. 12 plays, 75 yards, almost 7 minutes off the game clock. L.J. Martin, his 2nd touchdown of the game.
is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Friday night fireworks, Friday night fire, a blindsided Cosmo. Made it over, not shown. We did see a fire extinguisher used on Cosmo's backside, but given the high degree
Just all
of
for show.
difficulty, we're
Just
not
for
going to
show.
hold that against him. Cosmo, one of the most entertaining mascots in college football. 8:50 to go in this one. West Virginia ball when we come back. By Mavis Tire, how dependable?
Very.
4 catches, 161 yards, including one for 85, another for 48.
Well, I mean, he has been money tonight. Big catch after big catch for his freshman quarterback.
Khalil Wilkins, first career start, takes a shot downfield. Back shoulder throw, and it is complete. That's Jeff Weimer, who spent last year at Idaho State playing for a good friend Dan Hawkins' son, Cody. That's up at Pocatello, about 3 hours north of Provo. Dan Hawkins, former Colorado head coach. Handoff up to the 40-yard line. So, listen, the outcome of this game may be gone. The development of Khalil Wilkins could have short and long-term ramifications for West Virginia.
You know, we went through or talked about the progression of completion to Fox, completion to Barnes, and should have been a big completion to Vaughn that resulted in an interception.
Hubbard throws the block for Wilkins, and it sets up a third down.
But it shows you the growth that Wilkins has had in this game alone. And that's his 18th carry of the ball game, and somewhere around 83 yards or so.
And Andre, the fact he is still in there, they haven't gone to Scotty Fox or even a Max Brown, who we weren't sure if he was going to be available. The fact that he's still in tells you that Rich Rod knows there's growth that could happen over these final 7.5 minutes.
You can spin it, that's for sure.
Fakes the throw. Clay Ash throws the block. And a first down run by Wilkins. Saw Tuala the tackle.
You know, we haven't seen Isaiah Glasker this half, and BYU officials told me he's been dealing with some bumps and bruises. If they needed him in this game, he could return, but he's staying out because of precautionary reasons. Now, there's no Glasker or Kelly, and we see Wilkins getting it done with his feet and his arm.
Keeps it on the ground. It's Ash, the walk-on. Did you see what Pat Narduzzi said about Clay Ash a few weeks ago when Pittsburgh and West Virginia were playing? He said, he looks like Scataboo.
That's high praise.
That's high praise.
Big time praise.
This kid turned down.
I am a big fan of Cam Scott.
We all were after
No doubt about
last
it.
year. And Ash turned down a lot of scholarship offers from FBS schools to walk on at West Virginia. That's incomplete. We'll get a flag. Bowie, the intended target. Tavion Beasley in coverage.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
See the Bowie working against Beasley on the outside.
Pass interference is on number 15.
Bunch of hand checking and holding and everything that defines pass interference on that play.
Blitz off the edge. On the ground to Ash inside the 15.
Started the game against Kansas and a decent ball game.
Officials timeout for an injury to an offensive player.
It's an injured offensive lineman for West Virginia. Just an offense that has been hit by a tidal wave of key injuries, and it's been to every position.
Well, we were talking about this during one of the breaks. A-Rod, their offensive coordinator, the offense coordinator for BYU, said that, hey, we wanted to basically make people feel us. That's something that Alabama used to do. Way back in the day when Coach Saban was there, you play them, it was a hangover for about 2 weeks afterwards that you felt after you played Alabama. BYU kind of along the same lines.
Landon Livingston's the starting center. He didn't play last week against Utah. It was Carson Lee. Livingston was injured. Nicole Briscoe and Ryan Smith up late on the East Coast at Sports Center. With those two coming up next, Asia Wilson will join the show after the Aces Game 1 win in the WNBA Finals, plus one-on-one with Steph Curry. What is he thinking as he goes for title number 5 and EJ Manuel previews big matchup between Miami and Florida State. So Carson Lee checks in at center for West Virginia. He started last week.
Played well last week.
Fake toss. And Wilkins cuts a jagged path inside the 10. Third down.
Satuala again. Coming up from that safety spot. They tackle so well, along with the speed and the size on this BYU defense, that, you know, Cart gave that report on Glasgow, but the way these reserves have played, you never know Glasgow wasn't in the game.
Third down, Wilkins pulls and gets turf monster. Tried to change direction.
Yeah, it's going to be a late hit on the quarterback. Yep, somebody hit him late, and maybe trying to go over the top of him. They made contact with Wilkins. It's going to be a first down for West Virginia.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense number 57. Half the distance to the goal and an automatic. First down.
I'll tell you, there's two people who don't like that. Kalani Sitake.
Yeah.
And then maybe a bunch of other people in Nevada right now.
It's a little bit late coming in. Tanavasa. Those big interior defensive linemen, and actually he's their nose tackle. Gives West Virginia a fresh set of downs and a goal-to-goal situation here. Looking to score their third touchdown of the ball game.
Low snap. Not much for Dior Hubbard. Wilkins has carried 21 times, 83 yards. He's thrown for 81 through the air with 2 picks. He has rushed for a touchdown. Dior Hubbard, 16 carries, 32 yards. Second and goal. Wilkins looking to run. And takes a hit out of bounds at the 4-yard line. That's Satuala. We've called his name quite a bit.
He is a good-looking player. 6'4" safety, 210 pounds, and has excellent range and speed. They play him in the box. They play him back in coverage, gives him a lot of versatility on the back end. You mix him in with Tanner Wall, who had the interception. Demooney, as well as a good player that has made some plays in this game. They're loaded on the defensive side of the ball.
Satuala, 6'4" safety, team high 7 tackles and a timeout by BYU.
Yeah, I just think he is not happy right now because
BYU
of the turnovers, the penalties, all of those things mixed in. Yeah.
Anish Roth, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra. You know, what stands out when you look at the top of the Big 12, so many established quarterbacks, Rocco Becht, Sam Levitt, Connor Wigman, Baron Morton, BYU has an emerging one. We've seen that tonight. And Bear Brockmeyer.
Bunch of good football teams on that graphic as well.
3rd and goal, West Virginia. Hubbard goes in motion. Wilkins keeps and stops shy of the goal line. 4th down, a yard to go. And Stanford Steve is watching.
Tell you what, Wilkins did not shy away from contact. He was trying to propel himself into the end zone and was going to go through whoever he had to go through in a blue jersey to get there. He just came up a little bit short, and wouldn't surprise me at all if Wilkins didn't keep it again here. He's been their best option to run the football. Maybe a little push here would help him out.
He backs into the gun. 4th down, high snap, flag down. The give was to Edwards.
Looked like maybe a false start. You got the big old lineman saying that, hey, Landon Livingston back in the game, pointing at BYU.
Offside. Defense number 94. Lined up in the neutral zone. Half against the goal. Replay 4th down.
Anisi Purcell, the converted D-end.
Can they get it any closer?
Oh, they just did.
What's half the distance? About 3 inches, maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah, you see the helmet on the other side of the football, clearly in the neutral zone.
The nose of the ball
almost touching.
A couple of whiskers away from the goal line. West Virginia tried to tush-push earlier. This time, they back into the gun. And a timeout. It's by BYU.
Yeah, I wanted to get a look at it, and he is upset, Coach Satake.
BYU,
because of the sloppiness
in
which this game is closing for his ball club.
They've got a 21-point lead, but at the start of the 4th, he expressed his frustration to Paul Carcaterra about carelessness with the football,
fumbles,
turnovers.
And then now it's been penalties here as of late that have given new life to this West Virginia offense.
9 penalties for BYU today, only 3 for West Virginia. Mountaineers have been much better on 3rd downs today. 7 of 15. They came in as one of the worst 3rd down teams in the country. All right, 4th and 1 entree. Now, what's the call if you're Rich Rodriguez?
I'm running Wilkins, and the only reason I can come up with that they're in the gun in a short yardage situation is that they're going to run him. So there's no, taking it back to hand it off and allow for penetration. He is going to run the football, in my opinion. It's been the best option so far all night. And I imagine that far to go for, it's close to put the ball in the end zone, and I'd imagine he's going to have it in his hands here.
2 tight ends, both to the right. Handoff is to Dior Hubbard. Does he get there? He does not.
They changed it up, and maybe they should have stuck with what was working with Wilkins. BYU stout, and that makes the head coach happy. Again, not under center. It allows for penetration, and BYU gets the pad levels lower. They get the penetration that they needed and stopped Dior Hubbard right in his tracks around the goal line or so and marching backwards.
And that's without their 2 top linebackers
in the lineup.
BYU will take over at its own 1-yard line. Quarterback sneak for a little bit of airspace.
Just give them a little bit of room to breathe as we get close to 3 minutes here. And how about the timeout by Kalani Sitake? Saw the lineup or the formation, quickly called a timeout, got the right defense called by his defensive coordinator, Jay Hill, and got the stop that he needed.
For Khalil Wilkins, the West Virginia quarterback, first career start on the road, top 25 opponent, stingy defense. Now, if you're looking for a silver lining going back to Morgantown, you did see some growth from the redshirt freshman from quarter 1 to quarter 4.
And there are times, you know, obviously he can run the football, but the growth came in the passing game. And if some receivers just helped him out at times, holding on to the football, who knows what this score looks like, because they were going in when that Tanner Wall interception happened. That should have been a catch by Vaughn.
2-minute timeout in Provo. We take a look at tonight's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. Bear Bachmeier, best passing game of his career.
Yeah, started
25, 351.
Started it with a deep shot to Chase Roberts. He mixed some in with Parker Kingston as well. He's had a big game in his own right, and then he gets himself into the end zone with a touchdown run. He has had some night for a freshman.
3rd and 8, takes the snap from his own end zone, and L.J. Martin crawls to the 5. Well, we get a timeout with 1:55.
Timeout, West Virginia. The first of the half, 30 seconds in late. Please put the game clock at 1:57, please, 1:57.
The big 3 for BYU, 3:51 through the air for Bear Bachmeier, L.J. Martin. A quiet night for him, coming in with 400 yards on the season. And then Chase Roberts. Nothing quiet about his night, averaging 40 yards a catch. That's sick.
So West Virginia will call a timeout, 2 left.
Wonder if it were the gloves that he was talking about while he was mic'd up.
Somebody asked him for the gloves. He said, hey, after the game, I need these.
And some youngster's going to be awfully happy with that pair of gloves.
He may want to hang on to those for a few more weeks.
I'd run in and get him some new ones and then keep that pair. No doubt about it.
Sam Vanderhaar to punt. Here comes West Virginia. And a fair catch is made on the other side of midfield. So 1:51 to go, another series for this West Virginia offense. If you're just joining us, it was a big story in the offseason. Rich Rodriguez coming back to West Virginia after all these years. New quarterback is Scotty Fox. There was a great article in The Athletic this week by Stuart Mandel where he goes through the list of all the coaches who went back to a school they were previously at.
Right.
And not to say it can't be done by Rich Rod at West Virginia, but what was shocking was the overwhelming majority doesn't turn out well at all. There's Cam Vaughn. He's pulled down near the BYU 40. Now, there's some examples, right? Greg Schiano, second turn at Rutgers. Mike Riley's first stint at Oregon State was short. He did a lot in his second stint.
Plus, trying to do it in today's climate of college football, that makes it even tougher.
Caught by Weimer. And the landscape for West Virginia has changed. When Rich Rod left that program, they were a top 5 program nationally, rolling. 2007, if they beat Pittsburgh in the regular season finale, they're playing for a national championship. They had the stars of stars. Fox lets it fly and connects with Cam Vaughn for a touchdown. First career touchdown pass for Scotty Fox. And it's Cam Vaughn who followed Rich Rodriguez from Jacksonville State to West Virginia.
Scotty Fox has shown some stuff in this game. He came in earlier when Wilkins had to go out, had a nice run, and then out through the air, showing that he can get it done there. So maybe in play for they've got a bye week. Time to get both he and Wilkins some reps, and who knows what happens going forward at that position.
for Coach Rich Rod.
Hensley's PAT is good. It is 38-24. Some notable names. Obviously, Bill Snyder, second go-around, was able to re-steady that K-State program. Bobby Petrino, first time at Louisville, worked out really well. Second time, he had Lamar Jackson, and then things ended poorly. And there seems to be a little bit of a groundswell in Fayetteville to keep Petrino as the permanent head coach. He's the interim right now for Sam Pittman.
Yeah, a lot of that circulating. We'll see how it shakes out.
Mac Brown had his second stint at UNC. Was dumped in the offseason with the Tar Heels bringing in Bill Belichick. Randy Edsall was another one, where second time around at UConn, it didn't go nearly as well as the first stint.
The guy I liked for that Arkansas job was a running backs coach there at one time, and now he's the head man at UTSA. And Coach Traylor.
Jeff Traylor.
Yes.
Onside kick attempt. BYU covers it up.
Knows the landscape there in Fayetteville, and see how the rest of the season goes. The hands team out. Now, so Manhagan, who's had quite the evening himself.
And again, to finish the point on Rich Rod back in West Virginia, when he left, the program was still in the Big East, which existed as a football conference. And West Virginia was the unquestioned power. L.J. Martin breaks loose. And taken down inside the 15 by Tarnu.
He's trying to get to that average. He came in averaging 100 yards a game. That may put him right there.
I'll tell you, for the folks who were ecstatic about the last West Virginia touchdown, they held their breath that L.J. Martin was going to break one on that last run.
He's right about 90 yards, I was told.
10 yards away from his fourth 100-yard game of the season.
False start, offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty, first down. West Virginia has the climb to run off. The clock will start on the snap.
Austin Leusu, a little banged up entering the game, and Rich Rod now inheriting a program that's part of the Big 12. It's been in the Big 12 for a number of years, and they had that first season with Geno Smith and Tavon Austin and had some early momentum. It's been tough sledding, especially with the travel, even tonight. Late start. But the challenge is there for one guy who was able to do it.
And knows that there's work ahead, but also knows that there's plenty of support for West Virginia football, and they're going to be okay.
Meanwhile, BYU 5-0 for a second straight season. They remain undefeated. One of 20 undefeated teams in the FBS. And Kalani Sitake's true freshman quarterback today grew up just a little more.
Very impressed with the young Bear Bachmeier.
The gauntlet is ahead for BYU with a tough schedule coming up, but they've handled business to date, now 5-0, and it's the fourth time it's happened under Kalani Sitake. Kirk?
Coach, your freshman quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, career high 351 yards through the air. How is he different than every other freshman you've coached?
Well, I mean, we just got to keep working with him. I mean, right now we can't be patting him on the back. I'm so angry at him about some of the turnovers, you know. So, but I'm proud of the way he played. He's gritty and he's tough, and I appreciate him. But we got to keep working. And the thing that's been good about him is working every week and learning every week. This is a big time game for him to learn from.
Why was your offense so explosive at times?
We just need to be explosive all the time. You know what I mean? But I don't mind it at times. We just can't turn the ball over and can't make thoughtless penalties. I mean, those kill drives and kill us, get 1 points on the board. Felt like the right thing to do was just kneel the ball at the end. And I don't know, some people didn't like that, but it's okay. We just want to go away with the win and be happy with it.
I know you're not thrilled with the turnovers, but you are 5-0. What excites you the most about this team?
Listen, I'm happy about the win. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you have to give a lot of credit to West Virginia. They came here, and I know that they have a lot of injuries. So credit to Rich Rod and the staff getting their team ready. And you know, it wasn't an easy game, but it's okay. I think these are good moments for our program. We just got to keep working, getting better, and I need to do a better job as a head coach getting these guys ready every time and playing the entire 60 minutes.
Well, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The frustration for Kalani Sitake, 3 turnovers on offense today, 0 in the first 4 games. Bear Bachmeier did make a couple of mistakes, but we saw something from him, Andre, growth in the vertical game that we hadn't really seen all season.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to clean that stuff up because he's just that type of player. And it doesn't rub anybody wrong other than him. So he cares, and that'll get fixed. He's a heck of a talent.
The gauntlet begins soon for BYU, but they get a Friday night home win against West Virginia to go to 5-0.